CMS has given a damning verdict on power generation in Nigeria in its technical and commercial report, where it stated that the subsector will continue to require subsidies and face harsh financing conditions for new projects. The technical and commercial report on the Nigeria power sector, which was dated 9th of May 2020, based its verdict on the fact that there is insufficient collection of revenues, high technical and commercial losses, and below optimal performance of the existing power plants. It stated further that deficit of the power generation sector will result in multi-billion-dollar economic losses. The report explained that removing the aggregate technical and commercial collection losses will result in positive earnings of the power generation sector after only a few years lead time. Still, without additional expansion of generation capacity, accumulated earnings will only become positive after 2028, the report stated. Further to electrify Nigeria, it stated that ATC&C will lead to a sound business environment in the power generation sector that will benefit local companies as well as attract additional foreign investments into Nigeria. According to the reports on consumption of electricity, it stated that while 13 gigawatts of power generation capacity is available, only 3.4 gigawatts is reaching final customers, households, commercial and industrial users on average, with a peak operating capacity of 5.2 gigawatts achieved in 2018 versus 5.1 gigawatts in 2016. It described the existing assets as partly idle and do not actively participate in the energy system, stating that removing severe bottlenecks within the transmission and distribution grid is necessary to allow free flow of electricity. This includes rehabilitating defective connections of key substations to the existing control center in order to improve the operation of transmission network and to unlock its potential. On this background, the federal government in Nigeria and CMS have defined the Nigeria Electrification Roadmap, which is the outcome of series of workshops with the Federal Ministry of Power, Nigeria Electricity Regulatory Commission and Transmission Company of Nigeria (TCN) to share thoughts and ideas on the power sector situations and align on critical solutions. The road map is structured in 3 phases, with phase 1 focusing on essential and quick win measures to increase the system's end-to-end operational capacity to 7 gigawatts. Phase 2 targeting remaining network bottlenecks to enable full use of existing generation and last mile distribution capacities, bringing the system's operational capacity to 11 gigawatts, and finally phase 3, developing the system up to 25 gigawatt capacity in the long term, with appropriate upgrades and expansions in both generation, transmission and distribution. Subsequently, there were further engagements with the distribution companies and TCN, including field visits to all the 11 discos to further identify and validate projects for the phase 1 of the roadmap. The report says the aim is to initiate this project as quickly as possible so there will be visible impact in the grid within the next 2 years. This report covers high-level technical specifications for identified projects in phase 1 and other projects which could be considered in phases 2 and 3. Aside tangible grid network assets that require the upgrade or replacement, it says there are other intangible projects which are proposed to improve significantly the grid quality and reliability. In identifying this project, CMS stated that it has been technically guided by the preliminary power system simulation analysis carried out on the grid network by CMS experts in the Power Technologies Institute. But responding to this, Joy Ogaji, Executive Secretary, Association of Power Generation Association Companies, said that the power goes to customers through grid dispatch, stating further that by end of April, the generation companies generated 8,500 megawatts, but they they can only push out the extent that distribution companies claimed they can take. She said power is instantaneous and you cannot keep and that cannot keep you have generated. Mm. She described the situation's CMS as a company that wants to sell its equipment through the Nigerian government and wish the country good luck. That is currently up happen between the government and CMS. Story upon stories. Now that they started on this note, we just learned that the president just approved the fund of this business or this contract between the Nigerian government and CMS, coming from Germany. And I said it. They said it's a gift for Nigerian people because the fund to start this project in phases. He has approved the fund, and Nigerians should be happy about that. These are the things that they will continue to talk about. Talk. Now stories are beginning to emerge. Before you know it, this thing we do, they will just start all over this before the tenure of this present administration ends. Then it's going to be another thing. And these are the people that will be asking Obasanjo, where is the light? We are just hoping that as they've started these stories again, it will not end and it will not just go the other way. Now that money, uh, they've started approving money for this whole thing. You hear stories until the tenure is over. Then we will now begin to ask again. I don't know why it's so difficult. I don't know why it's so difficult that this electricity or power supply problem has lingered for a very long time. We know that a lot of politics being involved in this whole thing. Someone says here that the problem of power in this country is not technical, it is human. Let everyone address their greed, then things will fall in place. The domestic power consumers don't want to pay. Discos want to reap where they did not sow, charging us for energy not supplied. And every government functionary wants to bring a foreign company to so they can get bribed in dollars, and local contractors want to be paid for doing nothing. Even importers of all kinds of generators we don't have regular public supply. Okay, power problem in Nigeria can be solved by Nigerians, but Nigerians will not allow it. That's a good one. And someone said, yes, unfortunately, you are very correct in your analysis. Okay, the only way to generate funds is to meter all their customers. It will be asked you go like MTN. So where the trillions that the various governments have been budgeting and spending on the power sector over the years? Okay, story. The story. I think if this plan is properly executed, Nigeria will be an interesting place. But is it going to be executed? Are they going to allow it? We can do all of these things by ourselves, but the power that be, and that's why you will see that anything that is local foreign, they don't want to patronize it. They want to go outside. So that I don't understand, because these people want to just feel that okay, maybe my vicinity or my apartment or my building or my house or my residence as you may want to have it. If I'm okay, every other person can go and buy themselves to the felicity fire. In as much I have some few cash to be able to move around the world. What's my business? Even the country is going down the drain. It's none of their business. That is the mindset. They don't reason, they don't think for other people, they don't consider the suffering other people are going through. But once it comes to them that, oh, this is what we are going to be getting, I'm going to be getting, every other person should go and look for how they are going to solve their problem. Someone says, in Biafra, there will be constant electricity to all. But all this while, National Assembly probe panel say no problems. By this report, Nigerians are vindicated in their insistence that the power service is a colossal failure and scam. A situation whereby the power sector is sold out to carpenters who are having no expertise knowledge of what the generation of electricity is all about because they are connected to the corridor of power. What do you expect? More so, how could Nigeria be selling electricity to some African countries when your citizens could not have up to 5 hours power generation in a day because of the corruption of our leaders for Big Brother's show? Finally, till eternity, Nigeria will not get regular power supply unless the federal government allows each state to start generating electricity for her citizens. And that is it. Okay, buy energy like recharge cards and load. Money goes into government account direct. The story here. This now that they said everybody should be happy that the government is trying to do something with this CMS. But see what we are hearing now. A lot of bottlenecks now they've spotted, and this is what they are going to complain or talk about. Form committee upon committee. At the end of the day, nothing will happen. So let's hear your opinion, guys, on this matter.